Third time's a fucking charm. Welcome back to Let's fucking play Legend of fucking Zelda Wind Waker. Just fucking terrible. All the issues. All the issues, man. I couldn't even so much as move an inch. And the frickin' recording would stop within seconds of starting. I hate you, capture cards. I hate you so much right now. Because on top of that, I've barely got any space to bloody do any recordings. I'm recording this on the 2nd of August. And you're just like, so how have you not got space? Fucking Windows updates. I never know. Well, I noticed it, but I never knew that was the reason. But apparently, when the Windows update, installs an update, it keeps older versions of itself as backup in case you need to switch back to it, if need be, essentially. And it takes up quite a bit of space and it automatically gets rid of it after like a week or so. It's been a few days and it hasn't done that yet. You can apparently do it yourself manually, but I'm just kind of really stubborn in a way. So, just like, yeah. So hopefully this doesn't take up too much bloody space in the meantime, And it's like on top of that, a capture card decided to be a little bitch. I mean, on such a day as this, where we're finally going to actually advance in the game, the plot beckons us. So let's go. I wanted it to be like, right from the, where it does the intro video where it's like, I wanted to do an intro like that again, Like it used to be before, like I'd, play the game a bit before recording so that would already be in the game. I like it when the recording starts with that in that freaking opening movie, but what can I do? When the bloody capture card keeps stop recording after 3 seconds. It's a USB, man. It's freaking shit. Move it the slightest, the slightest movement and it'll freaking disconnect sometimes. It's bullshit. Okay, hold no. Let's think first. The plot is over there. Once we go there, we cannot return to do any other stuff. Are we sure there is nothing else to do? Not that I'm aware of. Maybe there is something else I could have done. Maybe. But all I can think of is the Nintendo Gallery, and since it already kind of, there doesn't seem any more that we could add to that at this point. So, yeah. I do want to talk to you before we go over there, so you'll talk to me again. So, triforce possesses complete. We must make for the Tower of the Gods that's right in front of us and return to Hyrule. I just wanted to hear what you had to say before you point that. His face is phasing to the boat. Anyway, let's go. Well done, Link. You must show the triforce. Show the triforce piece you have assembled to the gods. Here it is, I guess. Collected a bunch of tokens on the back of cereals to get that. I don't know. I wonder if Nintendo ever did that. Have their own branded cereal. They probably did for some things, I'm pretty sure they did. Imagine that, it's like, oh, if you like, I don't know. I don't even know how those work. Like have a kind of prize thing. It's like, if you collect enough of these, you'll have a chance to win a triforce of courage. Oh, what is this? There on your hand, the triforce piece now dwells within you. But it was in you the whole time, Link. The power, the triforce of courage. You have it all along. You just need to prove yourself. It's the triforce of courage, proof that you are indeed a true hero. You have controlled the wind and crossed the seas, and here, near the end of your quest, the power of the gods has been bestowed upon you. Surely from this moment on, you shall be known as the hero of winds. Probably fingers like, so is ever gonna make fun of me and be like, hero of winds? Oh, does that mean you're the hero of farts? Link, hero of winds. Go forth to Hyrule, to Zelda's side. Yeah, it reminds me, like, you know, a lot of people get it mixed up. It's called The Legend of Zelda, so they think, oh, it's the protagonist, right? No, the protagonist is Link. Zelda's the princess that's... Well, it's not quite like Mario, for example, where Princess Peach is always getting kidnapped by Bowser. I mean, in the Zelda series, you could argue Ganon is essentially Bowser in a way, and Zelda's Princess Peach, but it doesn't always work out that way, though. You know, it's not quite like that. But it's just like, when you really think about it, though, if you've ever played a Zelda game, how the hell would you get that mixed up? I think I even had it mixed up back in the day. That's because my experience with the Zelda game was a lot less detailed. I just kind of remember seeing A Link to the Past, and I don't think I properly played through it. I remember a bit of Ocarina of Time, but didn't play much of it. So really, Wind Waker back in the day when I first played it was the first Zelda game I really tried playing properly, I feel. And I didn't get far, like I pointed out before. But then I eventually played it again a couple of years later, and I beat the game eventually at some point. Or at least got further in the game, and then got stuck again. And then, once I got internet, it was like, oh, so that's how you get past that part of Wind Temple. And then went back and beat the game. Or maybe I figured it out some other way. I don't know. It's like, I feel like, compared to that, Twilight Princess was... Well, actually, no, I had the same issue with Twilight Princess. I'd, like, rage quitted at a point because of the shitty motion controls. But then when I'd, like, learned about it online that you could, like, switch it off in some extent, I was like, oh, and I went back and beat the game a few years after that. So really, my experience with the Zelda series has been a bit odd. Also played Link Between Worlds, that one was nice. Of course, Ocarina of Time, I played that as well. As, you know, played through it, so that was nice as well. And is there any other Zelda games I've played on all those ones? I don't know, I can't recall. Now, actually, can we talk to the King of Red Lions again? But like, hey man, is this really the point of no return? Yep. I want to go home. This looks like a flower. I am concerned about Princess Zelda. Quickly go into the castle and confirm their safety. Gee, I wonder if something's gonna happen. Can we leave? There's no wind under the sea. Holy shit, we can. He's like, God damn it, Link, what are you doing? You're wasting time. You said there'd be plots. King Red Lions is probably like, you didn't check on Zelda. Oh yeah, that was the whole point of that rambling, wasn't it? I can't remember, were they... I think the old Zelda games were similar. I mean, maybe not the very first one, and the second one maybe as well, I don't know. Well, even back in the olden days, Nintendo, did allow in a lot of games for you to name the protagonist, really. But the default name is Link. What happened here? Was this like... I don't remember it being like this last time we were here. Hey, look! It's the hero of time himself, Link!
Yep.
Looking very different to the Wind Waker Link, doesn't it? I mean, he's got the same hair, but the face. Or maybe this would be Link when he's older as well. Kind of looks like a bizarre hybrid in a way. Like, well, it kind of reminds me more of the Link in Twilight Princess, really. But that comes... Actually, what timeline? No, that's in the opposite timeline, isn't it? Because Nintendo, obviously, they weren't thinking about timelines or anything when they made the series. But then people were make speculations just like, so this game's linked to this one, so they probably were just like, oh, okay, well, we'll try to make sense of this bollocks. Okay, so the timeline in which Link saved the world in Ocarina of Time and was sent back in time. Lag. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the timeline where Link saved the world from Ganon and then was sent back to the past to enjoy his childhood by Zelda. That timeline led to Wind Waker here, and the reason it led that way is because the Link that from that era was pretty much gone back in time at the end of it, so there was no hero of time to pass on, you know, the genes or whatever, I guess, maybe the lineage and all that, so they didn't have a hero for whatever reason for all that, and so the world went into ruin, and eventually the gods were like, let's flood the whole place, I'll solve the problem. So that's what happened for this timeline. While in the opposite timeline, where the hero of time, you know... Actually, yeah, that is actually what happened, isn't it? It's like, it's kind of vague, really, isn't it? It's at the end of Ocarina of Time. I mean, I'm kind of spoiling Ocarina of Time a little bit, really, but... There's timelines we're working on here, right? So, like, in that timeline, Ganon was stopped in a different way because the Link that went back to the past, you know, he's got the knowledge. I don't know how the hell that managed to go around, but essentially that timeline leads to Twilight Princess. So in that timeline, they, I guess, technically is still the lineage of the hero of time that goes down for generations and whatnot and blah. So, yeah, Ocarina of Time gets resolved in 2 different ways and leads to 2 different timelines. What a clusterfuck. Now, I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but from what I've seen of it, God knows how that bloody fit in. Probably won't at all. I feel like Nintendo just are like, you know, this timeline stuff, we didn't really give it much thought, so we're just gonna troll people by making the timeline seem convoluted because, well, it is. Because it doesn't really... I mean, I have no idea. It's just one of those things that people try to figure out, but it just ends up being a jumbled mess. Wait, could I possibly... Oh my god. Oh my god, could I? Please tell me she's facing this way. Oh, damn you, Zelda! I thought I could get out of this. Just like, oh, nope, no plot yet. Just take a picture of Zelda and get the fuck out. But alas. Looks like we're gonna reach the point of no return now, then. Didn't even get a picture. You have deceived yourself. Did you think you'd be safe inside the castle? Foolish. Do you know how long I've been waiting down here for you to complete the triforce of courage, you fool? It's been freaking days, weeks, months. Bloody hell, I think it might have even been a year at this point. Now that my power has been restored, there is no safe haven for you. I have taken your precious Zelda, and here you shall fall into eternal slumber. Bring it on, man. Oh, these must be the special documents. Which makes it all the more pain in the ass when you think about it. Because you got these special documents. I assume these are the special documents. So you get their picture, right? Add it to the gallery. But you can only do that, you know, by beating the game and playing through it a second time. Essentially what I think happens is, if you take pictures in the last part of the section of the game, where you can't return to the Nintendo gallery, they get transferred over to the new playthrough save file, so that you can use those. The thing is, there's at least, by the looks of it, it's gotta be at least 3 or so in just the final section of the game where there's point no return, right? So it's like, okay, that works, right? No, it doesn't. Because the first 2 bosses, you wouldn't be able to get their pictures because you can only have 3 at any given time. And by the time you get to the gallery, you would have defeated those 2 bosses again and not have the pictures. So you would have to play through the game 3 fucking times to get the freaking gallery completed. What the hell, Nintendo? That's freaking bullshit. I'm just circling these guys. I'm not even gonna... Should I? No, I'm not even gonna bother taking the picture once. If I do end up, you know, off-screen, just, I don't know, playing through the game again to get all the other figurines in the gallery for whatever reason, I would probably focus first on, you know, the 2 bosses. I don't give a shit about these guys. Ow! It's just like, how dare you not give a shit about this? That's what you get. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been in combat. Come on. Yeah. Ow! Now, for it being the Master Sword, it sure does take a lot of hits to take these guys down. He's stuck behind his friend's wall. But, you know, if the Master Sword could make short work of these guys, then where would the challenge be? But it kind of undersells the Master Sword, really. I guess maybe it's because it's like, well, if he used just any old sword, he wouldn't be able to defeat Ganon. He could still probably defeat these guys. Probably take more hits than he already does. But you can't beat Ganon without the Master Sword, for it has to be. I'm the hero with the courage. It's like, whoa, there's fire around me. This pisses me off. Whee! Ow. Just picking the spoils of war. I mean, what would even be the point in picking up night crests at this point? I don't know if they'd carry over to another save file. It seems a bit pointless. I was trying to be fancy with my sword. I'm not even trying, so. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, I didn't do the Orca thing, did I? Didn't end up going back to do that. But 1,000 hits against him without getting hit 3 times. That's absurd. Even if it So, yeah, Zelda's being kidnapped, I suppose. Ganon, God knows where he's taking her. I mean, who didn't see that one coming? You got the King of Hyrule. Is that Ganon? Kinda looks like him. I mean, in his pig form. It's weird. I mean, why does Ganon sometimes appear in a pig form? Also, I like the colors on him. That's nice. I'm trying to remember her name. Is that Impa? Kinda looks like her. If it is, she's a lot bustier than I remember her being in Ocarina of Time. We've got over here. It's just a triforce. Doesn't seem to be an image of anyone in particular. Oh wait, that's what's her face. I can't remember her name. It was in the that temple that was. She was the Gerudo one, wasn't she? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Can't we get a closer look? I'll do, I guess. It's like, but Zelda, she's in danger, Link! Hurry, forth! Go forth and save her! Yeah, but I'm looking at these references, man. That's gotta be, over there, it's gotta be the, god damn it. The, Ruto, right? Oh, I can come down here. Yeah, I forget her name. What was her name? She was the princess, though, wasn't she? It's been years, I can't really remember. Wait, no, it's not the King of Hyrule, actually. That's, I can't remember his name. He was the first to say, hey, look, it's, oh man, I can't remember any of his characters' names, but she was Link's friend in the, was it Kokiri Forest? Saria or something like that? I think it was Saria or something like that, because that's like also the alternate name for the Lost Woods music, because that was the song she taught Link to, you know, not get lost in the Lost Woods or something, if I recall. Oh, and over here we have the Goron, whose name I can't remember any of these characters' names. I remember Impa, that's definitely Impa. Can't remember her name. What even were the temple names? I think her one was the Shadow Temple, I think. It was the one where you need the Lens of Truth. While hers was the one that was in the desert. Valley. Had those witches in there. I remember that. I just can't quite pinpoint. Can't remember the name. Nice little details here. I think his name began with an R. I can't remember. Princess. Is it? I really can't, for the life of me, remember these characters' names. I'm sure when editing, I'd probably be like, duh! That's their names, obviously. You know what? It's gonna bug me if that happens. So I'm just gonna freaking look up their names. So that I can confirm it during the recording rather than afterwards, where I'm just like, damn, how can I not remember that? That's so obvious. Come on, Google. names, please? Who were they? Yeah, Saria was the Link's friend. Rauru, yeah, that was the name of where is he? That guy over there. Darunia was the name of
Yep.
that one. There's the Goron. Oh yeah, Ruto, that was the name of the where is she? The princess. Oh wait, they were called Zora, weren't they? I remember now. I was getting them confused. Rito, Ruto, I remember that. I was getting them confused all this time, and I just now realize it's like, no, they were originally the Zora, not the Ruto. Ruto was the name of the princess. I thought that. Oh yeah, Shadow, Sage of Shadow was Impa. Naboro, that was the name of the spirit one. So we've got our sages. It's quite a trek around here. Okay, so we got the Sage of Spirit, Naboro, whose temple was in Gerudo Valley, if I recall. We've got the Sage of Shadow Impa, whose temple was, I think, in Kakariko Village, in the graveyard, if I recall. Of course, then we got Darunia, Sage of Fire, whose temple is obviously in Death Mountain, I think that was. Then we got the non-Sage, the anti-hates everything Ganon, but in pig form. Which I suppose he did appear, one of his forms kind of did were like that. Then we got Saria, Saria, the Sage of the Forest, whose temple was obviously the Forest Temple in the Lost Woods. Then we got the Sage of Light, Rauru, who didn't have a temple, if I recall. Although you could see the wait, this is a temple, Sage. I know, he's the first one we met, but we didn't really have any connection compared to all the other characters. Maybe his one was the Temple of Time or something, I don't know. Then the Water Temple, which was in Zora's domain, if I recall. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was in Lake Helio, actually, wasn't it? The Sage of Water Ruto, and that's them. So, it's neat that they have that there, though. It's just 28 minutes, bloody hell. Most of this part has been no real plot progression, really, has there? It's like when there is plot, I just like end up going on a ramble. Just like Zelda's missing. She's gotta be that way. But let's not go that way. Oh, I would kind of laugh, honestly, if we could actually leave after all that. Actually, no, I wouldn't, actually. I'd be pissed off. You know why? Because that would mean I could have taken a picture of one of those goddamn documents. Yo, how you doing? So, despite our efforts, the princess has fallen into Ganon's hand, yet all is not lost. Beyond the bridge on the far side of the castle stands Ganon's tower, and certain Zelda is being held there. Now that the Master Sword is once again blessed with the power to repel evil, we should be able to break through Ganon's barrier and enter the tower. Can we leave? Maybe the point of no return is actually, maybe that's when you get to the final boss. Because this ain't no point of no return if we can come back to the surface. What's up with that? I wasn't expecting that to happen. That means I could have taken a picture of those bastards. It's like, what, really? You get to the final part of the game and all you can think about is a damn Nintendo gallery. Like, well, yeah. Kind of ruins the immersion a bit, to be honest. Thinking about it like that. Really should be the point of no return beyond this point, though, maybe. Simply, if anything, so that I'll stop freaking thinking about that stupid gallery. Because, my god, it took over this LP quite a number of times. It felt like every part had at least one more added to it. We didn't actually able to get out here originally. So this is all of Hyrule underwater, but it's like in a giant bubble. Well, it's probably not all of Hyrule. It's probably just the castle and a bit of the surrounding area, so probably a bit of Hyrule Field in there as well. Spoilers though, we don't get to explore around here at all, unfortunately. Ow, what? Ah, yes, of course. I have the Blaster Sword, bitch! And then everything floods. Lovely, we can go into the castle now. Can I climb? No. It's like, no, you can't go through there. It's not actually there. You see that? It's supposed to be water, but it's not water. You can see that it's not detailed. It's because you're not supposed to go over there. Are these guys really down here? Seriously? What are you guys doing down here? Man, it's been years, honestly, since I've played through all of this game. So looking at this, I'm like, man, I can barely remember this part. Interesting. Well, that was a random drop, wasn't it? It's weird as well, isn't it? I mean, this is supposed to be the Hyrule from Ocarina of Time, more or less. But of course, it doesn't quite look the same, does it? I mean, not just in terms of art style, but layout. Actually, no, I'm looking at it. This is kind of how the entrance would go, wouldn't it? It had that kind of curving path leading up to the castle. Like part of it anyway, I remember that. And what was that girl's name? She was like standing outside of there at one point. And we'd have to like get through a bunch of guards to, you know, meet Zelda and stuff. I remember that. And it was one of those stone things up here. My god, it feels weird looking at it from this perspective. Because when I originally played this game many years ago, I hadn't fully played for Ocarina of Time before at that point. It was all surreal. Take some of this, some of that, and this, and that, and that, and that. Hello, sir. Can I interest in an arrow to the... Eat arrows! Eat them all! We're not going to encounter Beetle down here, are we? And again, he did just drop some arrows, so... Definitely felt like I heard something, though. Something familiar. Like the sound of those things are like... Not the... Well, something like that. Makes it sound like the bokoblins or whatever the hell they're called, but no, I'm thinking of the, those things that the boss drop. Oh, god damn it. You got a lot of range on that. To play that game. Oh, would you look at that? Now, aren't you quite an interesting looking darknet? You had to turn. Have you any idea how much of a pain in the ass the bid off in the human form, aka the freaking Nintendo gallery, is when it comes to pictures? It's a pain in the ass. I'll leave you be, sir. He's like, hey, this is the end game, man. Final area of the game. And you're really gonna bugger off after all that just to see if you can get enough. He's really doing this. God damn it. It's like the King of Red Lions would be like, oh, for God's sake, Link. We've now got confirmation that Ganon has now kidnapped Princess Zelda. And what do you want to do? You just want to take pictures and freaking go into a gallery to get figurines made. It is a shame, though, you know, that Zelda was facing the wrong way. We could have got her picture. This is like, God damn it, is that all you're worried about is getting the bloody things? Well, yes, at the moment, yes. Till we advance through. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'd even backtrack through the freaking castle itself if it's possible. Like, obviously, when we get to the final stages, that's probably going to be the true point of no return. But until then, you know, if I see a potential figurine development, I'm freaking taking it. I'm getting the hell out of there and annoying the shit out of the King of Red Lions and probably some of you viewers as well. It's like, God damn it, we want the game to freaking plot. Well, we got a little bit of plot in a bit of a new area. I mean, I guess I wasn't really kidding when I said that next part will have some plot, maybe. You know, in that kind of uncertainty to it. It's like, well, no, there could be some side quest or something. Now, if this ends up being like it's just like, alright, we've already got the development. Obviously, now I'll be quite annoyed by that myself, to be honest. I mean, there were two different ones in that, just in the one area. I mean, would I be able to get the darkness, I suppose? Or does the red one count as the same one, the same type? It's all a bit hazy. I assume, anyway, that the ones in Hyrule Castle are the ones that count as the, like, it doesn't matter which version of them it is, as long as you get the picture from that particular area, it counts. The one we're missing is the one. Tower of the Gods. Ah, Link, you're back! Haha! It's quite an inspiring motive. I didn't think I'd get to make another one. Hurrah! I'm filled with inspiration. Please print me the sculpture so it'll be a jewel of a figurine. Alrighty, as usual, we'll have to wait until tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get. I can't believe it. More Nintendo Gallery. Welcome, Link. The figurine request is ready. I always say this, but it's some of the best work I've done in quite a while. Go on that door to check it out. I put it in a room right across from me. You can't miss it. Maybe you could get it all in 2 playthroughs. I don't know. Kind of screwed up on the Zelda one, though. Although, to be fair, I think I could potentially get it on the second playthrough as well. That's not... I mean, look at that! We saw a black one and we saw a red one. And look, it is kind of like a greenish kind of grey going on there. How does that work? Is he colorblind? I mean, I assume we're going to encounter one that looks like this somewhere down there. And I guess that's why they still drop those, because you could still technically leave the area to, you know, use them. Darknet, Habitat, Tower of the Gods, Spoils, Knight's Crest. Wait, Tower of the Gods? Is that... Don't tell me the one that I could have taken a picture of was the one that... Because I'll be quite annoyed. You These mighty knights are protected by heavy-duty armor. Rather than attacking from the front, it might be best to slip around behind them and cut their armor off. Best not be pulling that shit on me, Bobby. Blah, blah. I don't know. I wonder if we show him the other one, will he be like, oh fuck it, I'll count down as the other one. Why not? Wait just a second, I've already made this. If we see another one that looks like the ones we fought in the room where Zelda was, I'm taking their picture and maybe probably isn't even those ones, or maybe it was. I don't know, because that was technically be a mini boss. It probably is, and that's annoying me. Ah! Long ago, Ganon's tower was an imperative fortress that not even the daring and dauntless knights of Hyrule could hope to assail. You must sharpen your sense so as not to fall victim to Ganon's illusions. Really? You're not gonna be like, why are we back on the surface, Link? We should be confronting Ganon. But that'll wait. But probably not even in the next part. Even if there's more plot advance in the next part, we probably won't get right to Ganon. We'll probably take a few parts at the least before we get there. I'm kind of hesitant to save the game after that, to be honest. But fuck it. I mean, if I want to, you know, 100% the gallery for, I mean, if I do end up being that persistent with it, that I off-screen play for the whole game again, just to do that, just to accomplish that, then I could just probably get them that way, really. Maybe. Whatever. I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.